Hello everyone, I'm just here to show you how to put our K's Creations Z-frame together. It's sometimes when you get all the pieces in your mailbox you think to yourself, well, how am I going to put all this together? There's a great instruction sheet which is wonderful, but I thought I'd show you on a video. So what I've got here right now is the scroll rod and sidebar part, which will make your frame. The other part is the Z part of the Z frame. Okay, so I've got a 10-inch set of sidebars and a 12-inch scroll rod set. And I'm going to show you how these things are put together. Your Z frame should have included this instruction booklet, and it's the top one that you're going to be using because we have the scroll frame included, not the grip. And this clamp or grip is another option that you can also buy later on if you wish. So what we have are two of these roller bars, and these rollers or rods have a bit of canvas stapled to them, and what we like to do is we like to make them fit like this so that the strips are actually flat on the table, and that way the linen will be attached in between and you'll be stitching in what's called the well of the frame. Then we have the sidebars, which in this case are 10 inches long, which gives you plenty of space in between. You can also extra buy some smaller side frame pieces if you like, but we like the 10 inches because it gives us lots of room to put any additional things in our stitching. Then we have a washer and then a knob, and the knob is like this, and of course we put the gold part towards the inside like that. So I'm going to start assembling it now. So we put these in like that, and this is how these are assembled. And of course you put the washer on first like that and just twirl it until it's nice and tight. Right? So once you've done all four, your frame is basically set up. Now, of course, there's no linen in here yet, but we'll show you that in a few minutes. Once the linen is put in by, I usually zigzag on a machine, and I'll show you that. Once that's done, then we can assemble our frame beautifully. And the next thing we're going to be looking at is the Z frame itself. As you can see, once I've done these two sides, you can see that there's a hole right here, and that hole is where the Z frame will attach. So here is the wooden base, and this is really handy, by the way, this little area here. It's a little bit sawdusty, so make sure that you clean it out before you start actually using it with your needlework. And I'm going to start setting up the arm, the articulated arm. I've already put two bolts in. One is in the end, which is countersunk already, so that needs to go all the way through. And then you need to put these two things together with another bolt. And once these two things are put together, you can easily put your lower bolt through the hole in the frame, and we leave it like that so that you can see. And then you put the washers in, of course, and the tri-knob. And the tri-knob goes in after the washer. So really the washer is always there first, right before the tri-knob. It's to give yourself some traction when you're putting them together. So as these start to be tightened, you will notice that it forms a kind of a Z with the frame itself. So there we go. We can move this, and if we loosen this, we can move this too. That's what gives it the wonderful versatility that you need for a good frame. Okay, so I'm going to tighten these now, and we are going to start putting on the frame itself, the rods and the side pieces. And now we are going to put together the entire thing. And what we do here on this side is we have a spacer that goes through from this side to this side, and then it goes through the hole, and again washer and tri-knob. So these are, I find that the three-step method of putting these together works really well. And then you can lift it up and you can manipulate things the way you want, and it stands up perfectly. So when I tighten this, you can see that this will start to be countersunk. See it moving in? Oh, see it's moving in, and that's what you need in order to make it kind of makes a place for it, and that means you have a very steady and tight grip. And then you can loosen it so that you can move things around. Wonderful. So there we go. We're going to have a look at how to attach the fabric, and then we're done. So finally you can see how I have attached the linen. I use my sewing machine and I basically sew all the way along, starting at this end, and I sew here with a regular foot. It should be no problem. And quite a wide zigzag, and I've done that on the bottom as well. And notice how I am stitching in the well, because the canvas strips are on the bottom. Okay, and you put them in like this. The reason you do that is so that when you turn things around, you'll be more easily able to get at the little areas at the back that you need to bury your thread. So now that I've shown you that, I might as well show you the rest, which is you can change scroll rods quite easily by doing this. Nothing else has to be dismantled. You just replace the scroll rods themselves with yet more linen on. So that's why I can have like 3 or 4 different projects on the go. I just have to exchange scroll rods on my Z frame. And voila. So as you can see, this scroll rods work perfectly. You've got your little linen in between. And the wonderful thing is that you can also move things around so you can see the back. And you can move things around here like that. There's all sorts of permutations. Mainly though, you've got this whole area free for your hand to go underneath. So that's really good. And it's got a little place in here for tools like your laying tool or some beads or whatever else you might need. So I hope this has been helpful for you, and enjoy your Z frame.